Welcome to episode 14 of Tales from the Scamverse. This week's story is skinny dipping. Will Ray be a hero or just a dip? And today's episode is sponsored by Grandpa Old Timey's Cornmeal. Enjoy!
And next in news, there's been another fatal casualty of the senseless practice of skinny dipping. Tonight, News 7 wants to remind all you youngsters out there that skinny dipping is dangerous and deadly. Our thoughts are with the family of this tragic victim. In financial news, great day today for CEOs and executives as they fleece workers.
Skinny dipping. This is an ordinary story about an ordinary freshman at an ordinary university during ordinary times. But the events are anything but commonplace. Ray Dibble is a freshman at Scam University. He's grown up on his family's modest candle wax farm on planet Plethora. This is his first time away from his home, and sometimes he gets homesick. But his parents send him care packages with his favorite, his mom's homemade scuttleberry jam. And Ray is friendly, kind, and has a contagious laugh, so he makes friends quickly. Soon, Ray has several acquaintances and some friends, and one very special new friend, Steffa. She's smart, funny, and cute. She's on scholarship for the university swim team, and Ray attends every meet. Ray and Steffa spend quite a bit of time studying together, and he quickly has a crush on her. Really, his only complaint about this new planet is the atmosphere. It does something weird to him. It hyper-expresses what's going on, maybe, or what he's feeling. It's kind of hard to explain, but here's some examples. If anything falls on Ray's head, a large fleshy bump rises up from the top of his scalp, and stars circle around it. And closets. When Ray opens a closet, any closet, an avalanche of junk falls out. And the cats screech. What's with that? There's no cats around when this happens. And the worst one, the one Ray hates the most. So when Steffa laughs, or tucks her hair behind her ear in a certain way, or smiles and her dimples show, Ray's heart, or at least a heart shape, bursts out of his chest and starts pounding. He tries to be quick and push the heart back in, but it is so embarrassing. Steffa hasn't mentioned anything, but surely she has seen it. Oh, and there are more. Eyes popping out when he's surprised. A light bulb appears over his head when he has an idea. One time, he got frustrated with his laptop and steam, literal steam, came out of his ears. He went to the school health clinic about it, but they couldn't find anything wrong. But besides the weird atmospheric effects, he likes ScamU and his new friends. He's content and he's happy, and that's all about to change. Ray and Steffa are studying at the library when she quietly passes him a note. He reads it and he is shocked. He is then savagely shushed by multiple librarians. The note read,
"Want to go skinny dipping?"
His jaw drops to the table, his tongue rolls out, and he quickly scoops it back up. Now Ray's mama didn't raise no fool, and he nods his head yes. Steffa gives her big dimples smile, and Ray quickly pushes his heart back into his chest. Steffa leans forward and whispers,
"Great. I was afraid you would say no or be all judgmental about it."
"Oh, judgmental about you? Oh, heck no. I don't even have good judgment when it comes to you."
"Oh, okay. Tonight at 11. I'll come pick you up, but we're keeping it a secret, okay?
Ray nods his head yes, annoyed at the sound it makes. After their study date, Ray has trouble concentrating and goes back to his dorm room. He checks his closet for something to wear. Or does it really matter since they are skinny dipping? Instead, he tries to take a quick nap, but winds up just lying in the bed smiling like a dork. Steffa picks up Ray around 11. In the Autopod's passenger seat is a large grubby insect covered in skin folds.
I brought a little chum.
Oh yeah, he sure is, cute. Ray puts the fleshy creature in his lap and tries to pet it, but a sharp beak pokes out of a skin flap and bites his hand. Ouch, damn it. Steffa grabs the chummy and tosses it in the back seat, and it makes a foul hissing sound. Oh yeah, your little chummy sure has spirit, huh?
Are you okay? Are you bleeding?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Sure?
She quickly pulls over to the side of the road and carefully inspects Ray's hand.
Oh, good.
She begins driving.
So, do you swim a lot?
Oh, I used to sometimes in the pond on my family's land. Nothing competitive like you. I certainly wouldn't have gotten a swim scholarship. That's impressive.
Well, SCAMU is expensive. This is about the only way I can go here. Are you excited for tonight?
Heck yeah. Oh, sure.
Just so you know, I have a surprise for you when we get there.
Ray pushes his heart back into his chest before it gets a chance to burst out. Steffa sees this and laughs as they drive into the night. A while later, they arrive at Lake Skinny. Well, that's a coincidence, thinks Ray, somehow ignoring the multiple no skinny dipping and danger signs. They leave the chummy in the car, still stinking and hissing, and walk down a short wooded path to the lake's edge.
So, are you ready? Okay, I'm going to go behind these bushes and get ready. How about you get ready over there?
Ray goes behind another set of bushes, and with trembling hands he takes off all his clothes, folds them like a dork, and puts them on a neat pile on a tree branch like a dork.
Are you ready?
Now, Ray is not a particularly shy person, but he's never done this before. He's been thinking of the best way to do it, and he decides a dash of confidence is the way, whether he feels confident or not, which he doesn't. So he takes a deep breath. You can do this, Ray. Quick, like taking off a bandage. And brazenly jumps out of the bushes, naked as the day he was born, hands in the air, ta-da! And he stands there as stunned silence floods the air. Standing in front of him is Steffa, in a full-covered wetsuit, jaw hanging open, and his friends from school. Zimot, a tall, blue-skinned young man in a wetsuit. Dekran, a short and squat dwarfling in her wetsuit. O'Creer is wearing a specialty wetsuit, which accounting for his extra limbs. And finally, Crux, green-skinned and the size of a mountain in his wetsuit. Ray's mind scrambles to think of something clever to say, but instead he blurts, I'm naked, just in case anyone hadn't noticed. Steffa's face is contorted in a state of confusion not often seen in the young kids these days.
Why are you naked?
I'm sorry, you said skinny dipping, and on my planet, this is how we do it. Why are all of you here?
We know you are new to the planet and thought it would be fun to surprise you with our less traditional traditions.
You're very naked, said Dekran, just to clarify. Yep, Yep, I sure am. I'm just gonna... Oh, fuck. Ray is humiliated and embarrassed and turns to go back and put on his clothes. Then he feels Crux's large hand on his shoulder.
You mean it? Your people go skinny dipping without any clothes? Amazing! Are you from a warrior tribe?
Ray was about to answer no when a little voice in his head said,
Ray, when someone asks you if you're a tribal warrior, you say yes.
Yes, lied Ray.
This is the most badass thing I have ever seen,
said Crux. And coming from Crux, who crushes bricks with his bare hands like a stress ball, that means something. The group cheers. Ray is stunned. Ray is he's a hero. This suddenly turns into the best day of his life. I mean, kind of weird being naked and all, but everyone is talking about what a badass tribal warrior he is. And they keep talking about how they would never be brave enough to go skinny dipping without protective wetsuits. Ray is so excited, he doesn't even ask why they need protective wetsuits.
I'll go get the chubby.
Watch out, it bit my hand. Suddenly, the tone of the group turns serious. They all look concerned.
Are you bleeding? No, I checked. It's okay.
A minute later, they all line up at the shoreline. Zimot puts his swim goggles on and asks Ray, How does skinny dipping work on your planet, Ray? Now, before answering, the planet's weird atmospheric effect does a new one. Others don't see this, but a tiny little angel ray appears over his right shoulder, with little wings and a little halo.
Ray, you have to tell the truth. You are in over your head, and this could be...
A tiny little pitchfork skewers the little angel's face, and he pops out of sight. On Ray's left shoulder is a little devil ray, complete with horns.
Bullshit. They think you're a warrior. She thinks you're a warrior. You know I'm right.
Ray winks at the little devil. Zimot asks again, How does skinny dipping work on your planet, Ray? Oh, you know, the usual, but when in Rome, you know, and whatnot. I'll follow this planet's rules.
Okay, it's easy. Once the chummy is in the water, we dive in. First one to the other side alive wins.
Sounds good. Alive? They all laugh.
Says the warrior who swims naked with skinnies.
Ray wants to ask what skinnies are, but Crux has already shot put the chummy. It hisses and fades into an arc that hits the water to everyone's left side, and they all dive in to the right and swim away from the chummy. As Ray swims deeper into the lake, he sees his first skinny swimming from the middle of the lake straight towards him. How to describe skinnies? Well, imagine a water creature the size of an alligator with scales, the body of an eel, and the head of a shark. Now fill its grinning mouth with spiked teeth, and that's pretty much a skinny. Ray freezes mid-stroke as the skinny slinks just beneath him, and its dorsal scales scrape across Ray's belly like a combination cheese grater and belt sander. Ray's belly feels like an instant sunburn, and the water stings. Ray tries turning back to land, but now the skinny is between him and the shoreline. It turns and slithers towards Ray again. It picks up speed, dead eyes rolling back, and the spiked maw flares open like a snake. Panicked, Ray swims away from the monster, but not noticing he's now swimming away from the safety of the group and towards where the chummy landed. That's when two things happen at once. He hears his friends splashing and yelling back at him,
Ray, this way, stay with the group.
He also feels a round bump against his raw belly. It floats up some more, and what was once the chummy is now a large chunk of skinless bone and sinew, like a peeled grape that won't stop bleeding. Oh, like Skinny. Skinny dipping. Skinny's ate skin. Oh, now I get it. Ray ponders this when a mouthful of razors flay the bottom of his foot. He screams and accidentally takes in a lungful of water. Wisps of blood rise up to the surface and pool around him. The others yell something about the skinnies smelling the blood.
Get away from them! Get out of the water!
As Ray treads water, not sure where to go, another skinny passes below him. Scales scrape his bleeding wound, making his leg an inferno of pain. He turns towards his friends to see if he can start making it over to them, or if he should try for shore. Neither is an option. Skinnies are turning from the group, maybe 4, 6, more, he's not sure. He turns to swim away from them, but there's even more coming from the other sides. His bleeding foot has made him the bullseye in the middle, and they're all closing in. He can't swim away. He can't run away. There is nowhere to go. He had just been filled with joy at being a so-called tribal warrior. He thought this was going to be a date with Steffa. Ray stops treading water. It will be easier this way. Maybe it'll be fast? How much will it hurt? The skinnies close in to striking distance. And now a word from our sponsor.
This is Grandpa Old Timey. I'm proud to announce we've partnered with the Tooth Fairy. That's right, the Tooth Fairy, to bring you Grandpa Old Timey's cornmeal flavored product. Grandpa Old Timey's cornmeal flavored product is delicious and inviting. It's easy to use in your favorite recipes, and I promise the next batch of cornbread or corn muffins will be crunchy as a rock. And it's good for your family, too, seeing how it's all natural, stone-milled, and a great source of calcium. Choose between pearly whites or yellow. You can't go wrong, because both bags have a mouthful of flavor. And when you reach into a new bag of Grandpa's old-timey cornmeal flavored product, you'll find a pamphlet with coupons, recipes, and brushing advice. So switch to Grandpa's old-timey cornmeal flavored product for your next in-na meal.
Welcome back. Where were we? Oh yeah. Ray stops treading water. He can't run away from this. The skinnies close into striking distance. Ray's right leg twitches. He can't run away from this. But running away keeps circling in his mind. Ray doesn't want to look, but opens one eye and sees them closing in. They slither faster through the water, excited for their meal. His legs twitch. Then again, they seem to have different plans than his brain. He's not treading water, but his legs begin to circle. He's had this happen before with this stupid atmosphere planet when he tries to run. His legs move faster, and he sees the skinny's eyes rolling up. His arms begin to rock back and forth. Somewhere deep in his mind, he hears a sound. And at first, he thinks it's the drumbeat of his panicked heart. But as his legs pick up their pace, the drumming gets louder and faster. The skinnies' mouths flare open. Spiked teeth glint through the water. Ray runs faster and faster in place, not thinking, not daring to look. Survival instinct at full throttle. The skinnies zip forward to get their first strips of flesh and taste. Nothing. Ray is above the water, arms and legs pumping wildly as a drumming sound echoes across the lake. A dust cloud inexplicably forms beneath him, and then he is running on or over the water and towards shore. On the way, he briefly sees the group, now in boats and armed with tire irons and sticks, rowing towards where he had just been. They were coming to save him. He passes them, and he can't seem to stop in time. He crashes into a tree, and a coconut falls on his head. He falls on his back and sees the treetops and a full moon. Soon Steffa's face comes into view.
Ray, are you okay? Are you okay?
He feels a sting and some pressure on his foot as his friends tend to his wounds. They're saying something, but the sound is far away.
Come on, let's get him to the hospital. Hurry!
Ray tries to say, I never want to go swimming with you again. But it comes out as, I know, before he passes out. Three weeks later. Luckily, Ray's belly healed quickly, and his foot injury looked worse than it actually was. The skinny had torn the skin on his foot, but not removed it. So stitches, a course of antibiotics, and a few weeks of healing, and Ray is mostly mended. Now, if only friendships were so easy to repair. At first, Ray was furious at his friends to put him in danger without warning him. But as time went on, he realized that the little angel on his shoulder had been right. His friends didn't lie to him. They were going on the only experience of skinny dipping they'd known. If anyone was to blame, it was his pride and ego. The worst part is Steffa. They no longer study and spend time together. What had been a close relationship quickly became, well, uncomfortable and just plain distant. And that stings more than any skinny bite. Ray hobbles into his dorm room one evening and finds a note slipped under the door.
Please meet me at the swim pool tonight at 11. Steffa.
Ray stares at the note for a very long time, thinks it over, and finally decides to go. That night, the door to the swim pool is locked. Ray knocks at the door and Steffa opens it, wearing a swim robe, and lets him in quickly. The swim center is dark except for pool lights and candles lining the pool. What's this?
Okay, I have something I really need to say, but I don't know how you will take it, so can I just say it and you promise to listen?
Well, sure, of course.
I'm sorry about what happened at the lake. I think we both made assumptions, and I take responsibility for mine.
Me too, Steffa.
Let me finish, please. Before the lake, I had so much fun spending time with you. I think you are smart and kind, and, well, you look good naked. And I have to confess, I've had a crush on you, and obviously you were interested in me with why you wanted to go to the lake.
Ray blushes, but stays quiet.
But since then, it's been so just awful. We don't spend time together. It feels like we're distant. I
miss you too.
Do you think we can maybe try a do-over?
Do you want to? I want to. Do you?
Yes, I like that. So I was thinking we could...
She nods towards the pool. Swimming? Really? Swimming after the lake?
Not swimming. Skinny dipping. Your planet's version. Just the two of us this time. What do you say?
Ray thinks it over. Briefly, a little devil pops over his shoulder.
Don't look at me. Go for it, man.
He turns to the little angel on his right shoulder.
No What are you waiting for? Go kiss her.
And he does. The end. No chummies were harmed in the making of this episode. Thank you for listening. And if you're wondering if I named the main character Ray just to use the Ghostbusters line, yes. Yes, I did. And it's that dedication to lazy writing hacks you can expect from each and every episode of Tales from the Scamverse. So until next time, keep your eyes to the stars and your hands on your wallets.